Hi, welcome to the Celestial Circle podcast.
I'm Love.
And I'm Tylin. We're two Los Angeles-based astrologers and healers.
Join us each month as we explore the upcoming transits to see how they will affect you, show up in the world, and in our own personal lives.
We hope that you will find guidance, understanding, and fun as you apply this wisdom to your own life.
And if you'd like us to give you personalized insight, please submit any questions you have on upcoming or current transits to thecelestialcirclepodcast@gmail.com, or you can DM us on Instagram at thecelestialcirclepodcast.
The circle is now open. Thanks for listening. Hi, welcome to our rebrand, the Celestial Circle.
2 rebrands in 1 year.
We are such mutable asses.
Both mutable rising signs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing? It's us again, but with a different name and a different graphic.
I'm actually so happy that we work in that way though, because then we're able to go in the direction and the flow that works. And I think that that's what's so beautiful about mutable signs is the flexibility, the adaptability, not being so tied down. Because imagine if one of us was like, no, we're absolutely not changing.
Yeah. I think that's like the magic that mutable signs bring to the world is like, we can adapt. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world.
It's chill.
Yeah.
And I think really the biggest reason why we decided to do the rebrand is because we really have an intention to cultivate more of a community vibe. Like with the Celestial Tea, it was more like, here's all these random celebrities we're getting into their charts. But with this, we're like, hey, like sit down in the circle with us. Like ask us your questions. Let's go over the transits because the planets are in constant motion. They are always moving. And so how is that impacting us? And that's really the intention with the rebrand.
Also, we felt that, like, with the age of Pluto in Aquarius, that's sort of like the death of celebrity. And then we were like, let's do a podcast all about celebrities.
And next year, the South Node moving into Leo, like, it is literally the release of... And, I mean, Jupiter's going to be moving into Leo, but with the North Node in Aquarius, I feel like there is more of that emphasis on... not the individual, like the celeb in the spotlight.
Yes.
Yeah,
we just felt like it was kind of like, why as astrologers are we doing what's like counterintuitive to the astrology of what is happening in the world? So we pivoted to match that. And I feel like there'll be more chances for community. We'll be talking about how this will show up in your life. You can ask us questions. We'll be talking about how it's showing up in our lives and maybe in our clients' lives without saying their names. So to wrap it up / open it up. Manifesting generators is doing a bunch of shit at once.
Yes.
We wanted to just do like a little recap of like what were the transits from this year and how did they show up in the world, in our lives, in our clients' lives, just to give you a little taste of like what our intention is for moving forward, because we'll be doing each month. So January we'll do probably 2 episodes because we take a long time. That's not changing. We're still gonna talk a lot.
Professional yappers.
Mutable Mercury, maximalism Mercuries. That's Gemini Mercury. I think is maximalism.
And Mercury Pisces.
Maximalism. Like, everything, all of it. No boundaries. So we'll be probably splitting each monthly episode will be 2 and episodes each monthly transit deep dive will be 2 episodes. There we go. And so we'll sometimes give updates if we feel like they're like really cool examples in the world or things going on. But we hope that you use this new format as a way to ask the questions to 2 professional astrologers that you want to get answered about what's going on in the world and how it's showing up in your chart. And to be like, okay, now that I know what the vibe is, this is how I can work with it. This is how I can overcome the challenges I can expect and not feel like, why is the world out to get me? Like maybe it's just the transit, you know?
Yeah. 100%. We really wanted to create this circle space so that it is practical for y'all to tune in and listen and then apply it to your own life. So we're really excited about this rebrand.
Yeah. So please make sure you subscribe. That way you'll get notified when there's new episodes. We are planning on dropping the episodes like at the beginning of each month, but you know, I do the editing. I'm one person. I have ADHD. I have a business. I have a life. Like there's a lot going on. So subscribe so you get notified. And then give us reviews, share with your friends, all the things. Yes. We really want to grow this and make this really successful. And we feel like this third iteration is the one.
Yes. They do say third time's a charm.
Yeah.
So here we go. And we have future plans for the Celestial Circle, so we're going to be dropping that, just teasing that here. So
But if you are interested in looking at an overview of what 2026 energy will be, we do have a free online event coming up on January 8th. So it's going to be 2026, the Wheel of Fortune year. It's a number 10, or astrology numerologically number 10/1. It's the like Chinese zodiac is the fire horse, so we're going to be talking about all of that, and then a little bit of the major transits like the Pluto and Aquarius and the Jupiter transit from Cancer to Leo, as those are big things going on in the year. So if you want to come attend anywhere you are in the world for free, we'll have that linked in our bio. It's on Eventbrite and all the things.
Yeah, why not spin the Wheel of Fortune with us? It's completely free.
Yes.
Yay.
Okay, so let's get into it. What?
So we wanted to do just like a recap of 2025. What the vibe of this year
What did I even go through? I don't know.
Yeah, because a part of this rebrand, we really want to cultivate a personal relationship with y'all and share what we're moving through and our own personal transits as examples.
Yes.
So, yeah, what's so wild to me is that we began this year, 2025, with Mars retrograde in Cancer, which is what I have natally. I have Mars in fall, which is literally why I use my physical drive, my energy towards nurturance. I built a whole business off of it.
And for those who are like, what the fuck is Mars in fall? So basically there are certain zodiacal signs that each of the planets love to be in and don't really like to be in.
Yes.
So Cancer, Mars is considered in fall, because think about Mars, right? The god of war, the god of action, motivation, and Cancer's like, I want to feel safe, I want to be cozy, I want to be inward, I want to be in my home, I want to nurture. So those energies like don't really get along that well. So that's kind of how you can think about it, is like it's a little bit rough to be out there going for things, moving forward all the time, having all this vitality and energy. Like, you need to rest more, you need to be cozy more. You're like, please, yes. So if you have Cancer, Mars, it's considered in fall. It doesn't mean you're cursed. It doesn't mean your life is going to never work out. None of those things. It's just a more difficult energy to work with.
Yeah, Mars is not happy in the sign of Cancer. So it's just so interesting that we began the year that way, and now we're ending the year with Mars in his sign of exaltation, which is Capricorn.
Yeah.
Mars in Capricorn is such a vibe. If you have this placement natally, personally as a Mars in Cancer, I'm a little jealous. Like, oh my gosh, because it's, you know, what we're just saying, Mars being the god of war, action oriented, and the physicality piece of the drive, and Capricorn being a cardinal earth sign ruled by Saturn. This is where people actually will execute their ideas.
Think of Capricorn energy as like this mountain goat that's like, step by step, I'll climb the mountain and I'll get there no matter what it takes. And Mars is like, I love that energy. You're constantly taking steps and moving forward. You're making a plan to execute it. You're course correcting when you need it. Like, Capricorn energy, because it is ruled by Saturn, understands that we have to put in work. We have to have a goal or a plan or a focus or a vision. And what better way to apply that type of energy to taking action, to being motivated, to like doing things in your life, which is the Mars energy.
And it takes action from a practical lens, right?
Yeah.
Because Capricorn energy it has the bigger goal, it has the ambition in mind. But with Martian energy, that physicality piece, it understands what you have the capacity for on a day-to-day basis.
Yes.
I love to think about, too, the second decan of Capricorn is a decan ruled by Mars, and in the tarot, it relates to the Three of Pentacles, which is such an exalted Mars energy because it really exemplifies the frequency of collaboration, right? It's like, you're amazing at this thing, go out and execute. The one person organizing, the one person prioritizing the projects. So it's just a really great way to end the year, especially with moving into January, because when we get into that episode, I'll be sharing about how it's really a month of the collective re-envisioning. And so it's a beautiful time to get into your body and to check in with yourself on what your bigger long-term goals are. Yeah. And Mars and Capricorn is like, yeah, hell yeah, we can totally execute. But it all comes back to the structure, right? Yeah. The Capricorn piece of, how are you spending your time? Yeah. Like, what are you disciplined in?
Yeah. If this is what you want, what are you doing to get there?
Exactly.
Yeah. So definitely an easier energy to walk into 2026 with.
Oh my gosh, so much easier than the way we began this year.
Yeah. Also a little bit kind of counterintuitive, I feel, because wintertime, like nature-wise, is when we have our new year. So, like, nature's new year and the zodiacal new year isn't until Aries season, so it's not till, like, end of March. But, like, we as humans with our Gregorian calendar are like, it's New Year in, like, the middle of winter when nature's like, I'm resting. I'm not outputting. I'm not doing things. But I think having that Capricorn Mars energy is, like, helping us a little bit to jumpstart that. So I guess if you're like really plugged into capitalism, then that'll be great for you, because you'll be like, new year, let's go, let's hit the ground running, let's get our vision board, let's do all the things. But if you're still struggling, don't worry. Nature is also like, we're resting for a couple more months. Like, winter is not over January 1st. This is like dead of winter. Like, we just technically winter starts like around the December 21st, like when Capricorn season like happens. So it's like 2 weeks and you're like, winter's over. Like, it's kind of weird. I was thinking about that. I'm like, Capricorn being in winter, interesting. So yeah, it will be good to sort of like, you can still vision, you can still like set the energy or think about what practical steps you want to take, even if you're not going to start doing it until like winter, has happened for a little bit more.
I think it's because Capricorn is the winter solstice vibe, and it really does have the frequency of, again, this long-term vision, this long-term planning. So it is a beautiful time to be in that visionary consciousness. But yeah, I mean, I'm personally loving it because I have Capricorn in my 11th house. So it is a beautiful like community vibe. And I'm going to be signing a lease and going full time on Temple Radiance. So it's kind of like in perfect alignment with what I'm going through personally. So
I think of this Capricorn Mars time as like, if we were in like complete alignment with nature during this season, we're not harvesting, we're not growing, we're not going outside because it's colder, we're spending more time inwards with our family and people that we love. And this is sort of the energy that I keep seeing of like someone pulling out like a whiteboard and saying like, okay, what did we accomplish this year? What happened this year? Any notes this year? Do we want to approach this differently? Do we want to set a different goal? Do we want to try and maximize this? Do we want to get rid of this? So that's more of like what the Capricorn energy is asking as we wrap up 2025 and step into 2026. So think it's like the measure twice, cut once. So we're thinking, we're organizing, we're recapping, we're aligning. We don't necessarily need to take that action just yet.
Yes. Another thing that really just like rocked my world for the transits in 2025, the very beginning of this year, the North Node shifted into Pisces.
Because you're Pisces rising.
I'm a Pisces rising. So
it's like, get your destiny going. Come on. What are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, really, that was a huge theme for this year. And especially with the Saturn piece being in Pisces as well, of like, take
that's
accountability for
me.
your dreams, take accountability for that visionary state of consciousness, and make those dreams into that tangible, practical reality, and focus on yourself. The North Node moving into Pisces for me really deepened my intuitive practice, my spiritual practices, like my connection to meditation, to walking meditations, to just like the things that connect me to the feeling of oneness, right? Because that's what Pisces energy is, and that's how I'm meant to move through the world, being a Pisces rising. So for all of you out there listening, us Pisces risings, we are the rarest rising sign, by the way. It's the smallest time window. We are magical creatures. So with the North Node being in our first house, this has been really a transit for me around taking accountability for my connection to spirit.
Yeah. And I had, that's my Saturn return that I've been going through this year.
Whew, we got a lot to talk about with that one.
Yeah. And so if you're Saturn in Pisces, so if you're like, you just turned 30, you're 29, 31, sort of in that area, you'll be wrapping up your Saturn return in Pisces. And that was, I feel like I have it in my 4th house, so it wasn't too bad, like the placement that I have it in. But yeah, this was a big deal. My big lesson was definitely boundaries, which is, hello, Pisces is like the vast ocean, no boundaries. Everything is, like you said, oneness. We're all together. And Saturn is like, no, let's have some boundaries. Don't keep overgiving. Don't keep overexerting and overextending yourself. So I've had to learn that in a lot of different ways. The biggest one, because it's in my 4th house, was family related. So my grandfather passed away during this time. And then my mom, like, I had to basically end my relationship with my mom and go no contact with her, like permanently. And this is something that I've struggled with. Obviously, like, my relationship and the way that my mom is like rough from childhood. If you have Saturn in your 4th house, you probably had a rough childhood. I'm apologizing on behalf of your shitty family members.
Saturn, Pluto, and Mars in the 4th house.
It's rough childhood stuff. Yeah. So I was sort of in this like cyclical spiral with my mom where she was unwilling to budge in the way that we needed to heal our relationship, to move forward and have a better, healthier relationship. We were just arguing all the time. She would hang up on me. She would never want to be emotionally available. And I just kept opening that wound every time, trying to get her to do it, giving her another chance, like being vulnerable and just getting hurt over and over. And so that was like a big lesson that I had to realize for myself, because I have that like overgiving like heart. Like my Aries moon is like, I'll keep trying with you. Like I'm able to let go of things and move forward. But every time I would like talk to people about it, they would just be making like the face of like, oh, like that's not normal. That's not okay. Your mom treats you like that. So yeah, that was a big deal. That happened in March. I was like, okay, I have to go no contact with you. And I totally like gave her like a whole month to decide. And she just like forgot, quote unquote, that I even asked her about it. And I was like, what a crazy thing to forget about if you want your kid in your life or not. So yeah. So that one was a big deal, because then I had to deal with like the wounds of that, you know, like I've already been working through the relationship with my mom for years, and therapy and practice and stuff, and grieving the mother that I wanted that I didn't get. But this one was like grieving the fact that like this person won't be in my life, and I have to set a boundary when it's a little hard for me to like set those boundaries. So yeah, it was definitely a year of like, let me pour into the family and the people that like want to be there for me, and stop trying to beg this person to be there for me in a way that she's like unwilling to be there for me. So yeah, if you've ever had to go no contact with a family member, totally empathize and understand. Everyone makes their own choices. I tried so hard for years to not have to do this, but I felt like the culmination with the Saturn return was like, you're gonna have to do this. Like that's just how it's gonna have to be, because it's not healthy. So that was a big one for the Saturn return. And also boundaries, like with clients, like I overgive my time with all of my clients.
Oh my gosh,
I'm
yes.
so notorious
The
for this.
Pisces rising, it's like, what the fuck is time?
Yeah, time,
especially in the Akashic records.
Yeah, so like for me, I see it more as like, I don't like, I do therapy for people, so I have certain clients where I go over, and it's supposed to be an hour and a half, so I already do a little bit longer of a therapy session than like normal people do, like 45 an hour, and I just feel like it's not enough time. Like I don't want to cut you off in the middle of your crying and be like, okay, go back into the world. Like it just feels counterintuitive. But there's some clients where I was going like way over hour and a half, and my partner was like, you know, you should get better at your I was like, not me teaching him astrology, and now he's weaponizing it against me. I've created a monster. No, it was really nice. It was helpful. He's like, hey, so you can't keep going over on these things. You need to set better boundaries, or you just need to charge them more if that's what you're going to do every time. So that's something I'm still kind of working on. I feel like I've gotten better with a lot of clients, but there's some clients where I will definitely go over and they're kind of like used to it. I think I've attracted like some clients that are like really mindful of time, which has helped me because they're like, okay, I gotta go. I'm at the end of the time. I'm sorry. And I think the ones that are like, let's keep going, those ones I still need to like work on setting those boundaries.
Well, you've got until early February.
Yes. That I think is like the part that I'm kind of like trying to get. Yeah, so definitely a lot of boundary work. And definitely the other main theme for the Saturn in Pisces, for those who went through their Saturn return with me, was not, like you said, not letting your dreams be dreams. Like how are we taking grounded practical action to get to the place where we want to? Yeah. And I think I had to do this, but it was a more subtle, like just like an acceptance and understanding and then taking the action. Like it wasn't like a big thing like cutting my mom out, but it was more like okay, I keep saying I want to like up level my business or make more money in my, like that was something we had to kind of go through. Like we were doing a lot of different events together, but they weren't really building the type of community that we were looking to build. Even with our podcast, we were putting a lot of time and energy into this thing that we give for free, but it wasn't like, didn't feel like people really were caring or vibing with it. So yeah, I had to be like, okay, so if I see myself going here and if I want to be here, then I have to actually look at where I'm wasting my time, where I am not supporting myself and I'm not putting in the time and effort and practice towards building that goal. So I think I literally in December, I was kind of like, oh, now I'm getting that piece. Cause I think the whole year I was like, oh, I have to do this. Oh, I have to do that. And I have to do it. And it was like all procrastination stuff. Like pushing out and adding more work instead of focusing on the thing that would give me the goal that I wanted in my business. And so I practiced it in this month and I saw a lot more sales. I know it was like Black Friday and stuff too, but that really, I saw it. I was like, okay, I'm not trying to waste my time with these things. I'm using my time to build these things and to get bookings, to get sessions, to get people. And same with our podcast. We were like, you know what? It's not working. Throw it out. Start a new one.
Yes. I think we both really learned that lesson with Saturn moving through such a personal house. The first and the fourth house. Like these are really personal places. For me, it's like my essence. For you, it's your roots of your natal chart. It is the foundation. Yeah. So that lesson on boundaries was huge. And what's so interesting, I wanted to note with the time frame that you were talking about, when you did set that boundary with your mom, you were going through your Hera return, because you have Hera in Sagittarius in your first house, conjunct your ascendant. So Hera is the queen of the heavens and she rules over relationship dynamics. So that is one of your strong suits, one of your gifts, is that you're meant to move through this world from that relationship oriented mindset, because Hera as an archetypal energy understands the balance within relationship dynamics and the power of your time, right? And so if that's not being respected, Hera has no problem being like, all right, I'm gonna just, like in her mythology, she'll just fuck off for months and be like, nope, you're not having access to me. Like that is her whole...
I've definitely I did that to both my dad and my mom before even cutting my mom out, so that makes sense. And I would say the last thing that came up in my Saturn return around relationships is like my personal, like my relationship with my partner. we've been together for 12 years, and it was actually the reverse. Like, both of us had like too many walls up because of our fears and our past relationships, traumas and things. And that was something that we had to work on, dissolving that boundary and just being like more vulnerable with each other and letting each other in intentionally, and like putting in that time and effort. And we felt it like quickly in our relationship. We were like, oh my goodness, like I feel different in our dynamic. Do you feel different? Yeah. Like we were both like, wow, this feels great. Like this feels like, it was weird. It was like we're both intuitive. So it was like we both knew what was available to us in the relationship, but then we were like holding back and not doing it just from fear or comfortability or whatever. And it just took like a little bit of like a mindset shift, and like someone, like I had a conversation with someone that like prompted this, and then it was like, oh yeah, why aren't we being more vulnerable and letting each other in? Like our home and our relationship should be our sanctuary space, you know? So let's just allow that to happen. And I feel like that has been really transformative for us in the dynamic. We felt it like immediately.
That's so beautiful for that transformation to then occur within your roots and your home and your foundation. Because yeah, Saturn in Pisces does say, take responsibility for that piece of the vulnerability and the sharing of your emotions.
Yes. And we were both like, no, I don't want to.
And the merging of consciousness, the merging of energy is so Piscean.
Yeah. So that's definitely big themes from Saturn return.
Yes.
Yeah. It'll finish in January. And then people who had the Saturn in Aries got a little taste of their Saturn's return.
Coming for you, Saturn and Aries.
Yeah. So in February, you'll be officially begin that.
We'll talk more about that. We got you.
In the January episode. Yeah, for sure.
February.
Yeah,
we got
February. I'm already fucking all the dates up. Time is an illusion still. Damn it. Yeah. So obviously a big shift this year, Pluto and Aquarius, right? Did that shifted this year?
Yeah, I think we'll talk more about Pluto and Aquarius. It was last year, but we'll talk more about Pluto and Aquarius in our next pod, because I want to go in depth on that.
Okay, so we'll unpack that more for y'all, because it'll be here for 20 years. So
Saturn and Pisces, it was so fun to watch Josh go through his Saturn return too, because I remember telling him years ago, before his Saturn return ever started, I was like, you are meant to be a figure of authority in the realms of artistry and be this person that is holding space for a community.
Yeah.
And at the time I told him that, he was just, before your Saturn return, it's like, brush it off, right?
Like, it's like, sure, whatever.
Yeah, like, what do you mean? Like, I'm meant to be a figure of authority in that Piscean realms of artistry. And now he's literally hosting regular mics and literally holding that space.
I've seen him. He's kind of like stepped into like, I see him making like content, social media content, like hyping up the other comedians, getting them to come out of their shells, like sort of taking charge, but in this like fun way.
Yes.
Where it's not so like, oh, you have to do the, type of thing, but he's like welcoming everybody and like, come on, let's make it fun. Let's promote ourselves. Let's put ourselves out there.
Yes. Such Saturn in Pisces in the 11th house vibes.
Yeah. In the community house for sure. Yeah. So that'll be exciting. Yeah. He's like hosting shows now. So that's pretty on brand for him.
Yes. So this is why it's so fun to see how the astrology is impacting you and then reflect back. I love that in our new format, we're going to have like reflection episodes.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, how was that lunation for you?
Yeah. And we'll even compare it with maybe like stuff going on in the world too. Yeah. So you can see like practical application. Like the Uranus Gemini from this year, we've seen that a lot in our American politics, especially because our president is a Gemini. So there's a lot with that.
I know it's gonna be rough with the Saturn and Neptune piece going into Aries in that sextile to Uranus and Gemini. I'm like, I've been looking at that transit for years. Like, what is going to come of this? Like, and how can we optimize it and not take because it's a transit that does signify on the more dense vibrational side, like violence and aggression.
Yeah, and we talked about it in the beginning of 2025 when we did our kind of like overview episode for the astrology, that like it is historically a time of war for the US when we see this transit. And we're kind of starting to see these tensions arise with like many different countries. We're having like a bunch of stuff going on with Venezuela right now, and like the president is just creating like straight up lies around this. Obviously we have stuff going on in Palestine that we're involved in and we're complicit in as a country, and we're enabling as a country. So like if that tension ever rises, that could be like a war type thing that could happen, which is why I think a lot of people are like trying to not do anything, which is unfortunate. We even saw like the president was like beefing with Canada and like Mexico throughout the year, which I feel it's just like Gemini's like words, communications. Also the AI stuff is very Uranus and Gemini. Like people were talking about that. It's like,
and Pluto and Aquarius too.
Yes, like very quick dissemination of ideas and things, right? Because the premise of AI is that it just parses through the internet, and then it takes like a summary or an overview or an amalgamation of what humans have created already on the internet, and just like gives you that information. So it's like an easy way to pull everything from everywhere and then just give you that. There's like a lot of, I would say, with Uranus and Gemini, because that transit will still happen, you know, it's not going to end in 2025. There's a lot of noise that people were saying. Everyone's speaking up, everyone's putting their voice out, everyone's saying something. And so we're gonna have to, especially with AI, we're gonna have to be very, 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 very discerning about what is real and what is fake, about what is just someone's opinion and what is fact. And then we're seeing like with Google developing that new AI that can make like photorealistic images. It's going to be even harder to discern what's AI and what's real. We saw that deal that Disney just did with OpenAI to give them the like intellectual property assets for their characters. So now everyone who uses the OpenAI will have access to those things. So we might be seeing like all kinds of stuff that's like, is it real or is it not? I feel like obviously Trump is like the biggest example. Like everything he says is like not true on social media. And
he says some really disturbing things. I am horrified about like one of his last posts that he made about Rob Reiner. Like,
oh yeah, he was saying that Rob Reiner died from Trump derangement syndrome, when actually Rob Reiner died from his son being on drugs and attacking him. Like, yeah, so that's classic Uranus and Gemini energy. Like, who is correct, who is not correct? So I would say, like, be really grounded, have a practice to unplug from these things so you're not just, like, getting over consumed by all the information, and fact check the fuck out of everything. I think with the way that the internet is, it's going to be harder and harder to fact check using the internet. So we're going to have to look at, like, other sources that we trust for these things. I found this free, like, plugin that, like, pulls out a lot of AI stuff on your Chrome browser. It works on other browsers. So like it's like it parses through data that's before 2022. So like you'll get like stuff before the AI boom. So you're like more likely to have less AI. So like investing in those types of things will be really good. Yeah, like we're even seeing like social media being weaponized against people, how they like if you want to come into the US or travel, they're going to look at like 5 years of your social media history. I feel like that's very Uranus and Gemini. Yeah, what do you think?
I feel like this past year, because of all of that, I love what you said about being grounded, because I feel like this past year, if I'm being so honest, I was very aware of my nervous system and how easy I would get into a nervous system dysregulation state by seeing like a flooding in of information.
Yes. And it's by design, just to let y'all know.
Yes. And I feel like, I'm not alone in that. It was definitely something that the collective was experiencing, and something that I feel like is only going to be heightened, to be so honest, as we move into this next year. Because next year is like, we'll get into it with y'all, but it really is like we are opening the portal of a new era. But in that, it is so crucial that we are aware of our nervous system, right? Because Aquarius, Pluto and Aquarius rules over our nervous system. And so there is a collective transformation happening within the collective nervous system. And then with Uranus in a trine to Pluto moving through Aquarius, I feel like it's only just sparking this information, that information. And so, having those grounding practices, just coming back to your breath, coming back to nature, to your body, turning off your phone, stop scrolling, like is really, it's essential. And it's really finding that balance of being aware of what is going on. Because I also, being the Pisces rising, I recognize that I definitely have had patterns in the past, and Saturn moving through my first house definitely shifted this for me, where in the past I would just go into the like the fantasy place, like not want to recognize what's happening in real life. And Saturn moving through my first house was like, no, like you got to look at this and like be in the real world. And I feel like it really is like having a fine line, a balance of maintaining like your connection to what is going on, but also regulating yourself.
So I'm curious, because I actually have read that Gemini rules the nervous system and Aquarius is the circulatory system.
I've read that Aquarius is the nervous system.
Okay, because that's like something I've been looking up. Yeah. But I think it tracks for like Gemini being the nervous system. Yeah. With the Uranus and Gemini. Signs, yeah. So, yeah, because I think then like there's another sign that does like the lymphatics. Like it's like the different systems. Yeah. Because I think that's Libra or something like that.
Libra is the kidneys. And I feel like Gemini is like the upper back. Like the upper back to mid back in the body. Because,
I know it as like Gemini's like hands, arms.
But they also say Cancer is the hands.
I've never seen.
And also the breast.
The chest, chest, breast area for Cancer.
And then Leo's the heart.
Yeah. And like lungs, I think for Cancer too. Or maybe that's Gemini. Gemini. Yeah. So that would make sense if it's like tied to like nervous system. Yeah.
Well, they're both air signs, so they're in a trine. They work together, right?
Yeah. All the systems. Yeah. So definitely grounding yourself. Like I've had times where I talk to my dad on the phone and we're like, oh, fuck this, like shit in the news, like did you see this? Oh my god, this is fucking crazy. And then some days where he's like, I didn't look at the news, I don't want to know, don't tell me, I need a break from the news. I'll tap back in when I'm ready. And I think that's kind of where we kind of have to be. Or just like if you feel that receiving the news in one way is too overwhelming for your nervous system, find a different way. Like if you're like seeing it on social media, seeing the videos is like, then don't do it that way. Like read it in a paper format, you know, like listen to it in a like a podcast format or something like that, you know, like pick and choose how you want to receive your information and highly vet your sources. Because I've even seen there was like a interview with the CEO of like Intel, and he was on a podcast or something talking about like the future of AI, and he was saying lies. Like people like in the industry were like fact checking him afterwards, because he was saying like pretty soon in the future AI will be like the like creator of the knowledge, like the knowledge will come from AI. And people were like, AI doesn't create knowledge, AI parses through data and synthesizes it. Like it's not gonna be the one starting the information, it's just disseminating the information. So anyways, I will say just like don't use AI. It's so bad for the environment. In all these they literally have to make huge warehouses to sustain the energy output that it takes to use AI, and to cool all of the computers that it takes uses a lot of water. So a lot of rural and low income communities are having like corporations and companies come in to like, you know, every fucking thing. Like Lowe's app has fucking AI now. Like, why does the Lowe's app need AI? It doesn't. It doesn't need AI. Anyways,
I think we're at a point now where we can't really go back from AI. Is just going to be a part of humanity, like moving forward. So I think it really does come back to the question of integrity if we are going to be working with AI. So my business coach, she did a whole training on what business owners need to know about working with AI. And what I thought was so interesting is that she was sharing that most men use AI, but a very low percent of women use AI. So it's so interesting that AI then is getting a lot of its input from the masculine frequency.
That's because men don't think for themselves and they're conditioned as society to outsource all of their brain output to a woman. A woman is used to making all the decisions, of planning, putting things together, like solving things, seeing patterns. Men just outsource that to women.
Yeah.
They're trained to do that for like centuries.
I think that it's just about the integrity piece. And this is why the balance, coming back into balance, is so essential. And then like what you were saying about the fact checking, I think what's so interesting with the Pluto and Aquarius is that we are really seeing the rise of groupthink, like people getting into these groups and their ways of thinking, and then like that's the only way that they are able to function in their mindset is through whatever someone else is telling them. And so this is where like we can utilize the energy of the Aquarius rebel, right? Like let's get into that, like question what people are telling you, right? Because I think if AI had a choice, AI would want to use ethical environmental systems, but it's the people, the humans, that are like in charge of it, right? That are preventing that from happening. So it's just really interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree with you. Don't use AI. I don't want it to be part of my future. I don't. I hope that the deal with Disney flops because they're allowing all their assets to be usable by anybody, and they spent since their inception suing the pants off of every single person that tried to use their likeness and intellectual property, and all of a sudden they're just giving it to an open source format that everyone can use. It just doesn't make any sense. Like when you're saying like, what are the integrity, what are the morals? There isn't. It's money. That's all they care about is money and ease. They don't have to pay people to animate anymore. They can have an AI do it. Yeah, but now a guy at home can also create something really inappropriate about a wholesome character and put it out on the internet, and it'll have Disney's name on it. Like a lot of people are like, I hope these ventures that they do flop, and I hope that they don't persist, because I think to just accept AI as part of our life is bullshit, to be honest. And I'm not judging you, but like I'm just saying, like, those warehouses that are going in are in low income. It's another like just stab from capitalism. All these low income areas, their electricity bill has skyrocketed, not because of them, they're not doing anything, because all the electricity being taken from their power and put towards the warehouse to keep AI open and keep it usable, just on minimum function. And so now everybody else has to pay extra because of it. All these warehouses, like the Amazon's like stuff that they're building, has already caused like rare chemical cancers to arise. It's very like Erin Brockovich. Like there is unforeseen, not unforeseen, they could have seen this if they took the time to actually do like a study, an environmental impact study. But like the water usage, we already have a water shortage. Like Detroit still like doesn't fucking have clean water after all of the, or Flint, Michigan has all this, you know. It's like, why are we focusing on this when we could be solving this? So I don't know. I personally, I think it's going to be like Terminator. Maybe there will be machines, but it'll be only the corporations using the machines, and we'll have to just like rebel against machines.
I think this is where the medicine of Aquarius energy can be supportive, because Aquarius, it's a fixed air sign, right? So it's known as the water bearer, and you can think of it like a cloud. It is holding the water. And so from that perspective, Aquarius can see things from this higher up perspective, which is why it rules over systems, right? And so if we're utilizing that Aquarius medicine in a way that is of integrity, I think as a society and a collective, we would be able to see like, oh my goodness, these are systematic changes, because I feel like where we're at right now, we can't go back. It's like to just think about the way we grew up. We didn't have cell phones. Like
but also like Gen Z people are getting flip phones and not having Instagram on their phone. Like when there's too much excess, people will pare back.
Have you seen that they are like romanticizing like this era
of the 2000s? Yeah, it's so funny to see their fashion. I fucking love it.
I'm like, it was not cool to be emo.
Pluto Aquarius, right? They're back into the future trendy, like mixing things together.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I've seen people say like there are like right ways to use AI ethically, like in small formats, not in mass large, like just make it available for everybody. But I agree, if it's used for small things that will help humanity, like how they're like, oh, it will create automations or things like that.
For sure, yeah.
But I think that like most of the time when I talk to people who use AI, they're like, I asked ChatGPT this, like it's not a fun game that we can just, it's not a magic 8 ball. Just buy a magic 8 ball. Just fucking ask the magic 8 ball.
Or ask your intuition.
Yeah.
Go inward.
Ask a tree. Ask anything else. Ask the magic conch from SpongeBob. Ask, I think that's where it's kind of frustrating, because people are just using it frivolously when it uses up so many resources, and it's hurting a lot of people, and it's ruining a lot of communities, and it's just making these corporations think it's okay and we should still do it. And I've also seen a lot of people like pushing against it because it's too far in the extreme. So we're seeing this resurgence of like slowness, books, physical media, tangible things, like creating things with our hands, like the arts and crafts, I think is going to become much bigger, because people are going to say, I don't want all this like fake stuff. I want realness, and I want to deepen into realness in my life.
Yes.
And that's why I'm like, fuck it.
I love that. One of my clients, she's been talking about this for a really long time, and now she's finally doing it. So she's created this like club space in Pasadena. If you're also in LA, you can totally go, where it's this like club unplugged. Like you're going and you're just being present without the use of your phone. Yeah. You can read, you can knit, you can chat. And I do feel like people are craving that.
Yeah, and I've been seeing more of those spaces too.
Yeah, like that's the other part of Pluto and Aquarius. It desires the community. It desires the connection. It desires that like-minded energy, but then again, we are seeing the extreme of that, where people are in these situations where they're brainwashed and they're unwilling to question the narratives that are being fed to them. Yeah.
The other example in the news that I thought was very Pluto Aquarius and Uranus and Gemini together was Nepal. How they like overthrew their government so quickly, and they did it using Twitch. So like there was someone on Twitch that like got all the like younger generation people in Nepal to like join and quickly go out and start protesting, and they went and they overthrew the government structure really easily and really quickly because of this ease of dissemination of ideas and voices and aligning for like what they believe in and taking action. Like that was a very like positive example of how to use this. Just to balance it out, because I feel like we've been talking about stuff where you're like, yeah, fuck my life. So there's good things, there's always good things.
And I think that this is the beauty of having these conversations, right? Because we're all going to come from different perspectives, right? And I think that is how we grow, right? Having these conversations with your friends, with your family, even if it's differing opinions, like that is how as a society we're able to move forward and we're able to evolve. And that's what Uranus and Gemini is really going to bring. But
be prepared for more me, my voice is important, listen to me, don't listen to them, don't look at the truth. So we'll just have to be really grounded in that. What other transits do you want to talk about? Jupiter and Cancer?
Oh my gosh, that was one that I was so excited for.
Everyone should be excited for it.
Biting.
Everybody's feeling better.
Like chomping. I'm like, I can't wait for Jupiter to move into Cancer.
I feel like Jupiter in Cancer is like low-key holding it down, while all the other transits are like, oh God, I'm going through it. And Jupiter's like, you got this, baby. You're safe.
Oh my God,
you'll
so
be fine.
nurturing.
You got it. Keep going. And it's like, I'm getting my limbs cut off out here, dude. It's like, you got this. You'll get through it.
Yes, literally. I love this transit now that we're in it because I was looking forward to it for so long. Like I had it marked on my calendar like years ago. I was like, oh, this is gonna be such a beautiful time. And I felt it. Like Jupiter moving into my fifth house. It's been spicy, you know? All
You're
these
like, hey,
astrologers are
whoa.
like
He's expanding something down there.
people are like, what the
What's
fuck
the
does
fuck
that
is the
mean?
fifth house? They're like, holy shit.
The fifth house is the house of sexuality.
Mm-hmm. Passion, desire, creativity.
My creativity has been, whoa. I mean, you know, because we're like creating this thing in the backdrop.
Yeah, we're creating something special that we'll announce when the time is right.
Yeah, but whoa, that's been a feat creatively. I'm also working on another proposal. Like that's been wild. All of the creative stuff coming up from that. I just feel like I have so many ideas. I'm also crafting a new offer and building that out and creating like a whole booklet as a side portion to that offer. It's just felt like ideas flowing in.
Yeah.
Like that's the vibe, which I know is totally different for you,
yes.
having Jupiter moving to
Eighth
your eighth house. But like for me, it's been so. And now I have Jupiter on my Mars, which I feel like is like expanding my like ability to take action, which I normally, I mean, having Mars in fall, like I normally am just like I'll take action if I'm cozy.
Yeah,
like
if I feel comfortable, I'll do it.
Like, but Jupiter conjunct my natal Mars is like been just expanding my capacity for how much I'm taking on, which yeah, I feel like that has been like a different vibe for me to experience that piece.
Yeah, for me, because I have my Cancer sun in the 8th house, which is the house of Scorpio. So the occult, the shadow, the taboo, death, life, rebirth, transformation, all of those types of things in there. So I had a reading with an astrologer I work out of, Wendy. She's like famous on Otherworld podcast. She like gave me an impromptu reading before the transit even happened, and she said your psychic gifts are going to like up level, they're going to expand. And I feel definitely that's what happened with this transit for me, having Jupiter in the 8th house. And because I had that foresight of like knowing, I intentionally worked with it. Like I asked to make spirit more tangible. I literally posted something on my story yesterday where like I was messaging back and forth, doing a mini like psychic reading for one of my friends. She like got this new dog, and then he just like randomly started acting out, and she was like, please, anyone who like can communicate with pets, like can you? And I'm like doing voice to text, and I just pressed the button to like have it listen. I didn't say anything, and then a huge block of text just appeared that said I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, with periods too. And I was like, what the fuck? Like I've been working on making spirit like more tangible. Like I've been asking to, I literally had an experience I didn't tell you about this. I partake in the Kelly sober program, which means you smoke weed. And I just love that Kelly sober is like a thing. Gosh. I'm not sober in any means. I barely drink. But anyways.
I want to come back to that, the weed piece with the eclipses that we had. So
okay,
I'll note that.
So it was actually more recently. I was by myself and I took edible. I was like relaxing, chilling, and I literally felt a spirit move, like was moving my body. Like, you know how those people are like, I had sex with a ghost. I kind of felt like I experienced that. I was like, sure, you had sex with a ghost. Now I'm like, I get it. Like I was, cause I have an injury in my hand. And so all I did was I set the intention, like, I want to open up to healing. I want to heal my hand. I want to open up to healing. I just kept repeating that in my mind. And I literally, my hand started like, it felt like someone was grabbing my hand and lifting it. And I felt them like touching here in my palm. And they were like moving my hand around, and I felt them like touching different parts of my body. Like actually someone was touching it. Like It was the most
Whoa.
visceral, like, experience I had with, like, energy healing, I guess. And I was kind of, like, I know I'm high, so, like, when you're high, when you're under the influence, it could be a little bit harder to have, like, boundaries with spiritual stuff. So I was like, I don't know who or what this is. I know my house is protected, but, like, I was like, I don't want to go too far because I don't know who you are. But they were literally, like, moving my body and, like, I could feel them, like, touch my nose like that. Like, it was really cool. So I've definitely been up leveling. I've been able to, like, pick up, like, names and things, be, like, just even more direct. So that's been an intention.
Wait, you weren't curious about who it was afterwards?
No.
Like, I mean,
I don't question things.
I have arrows in my 12th house.
It felt sexual. It did feel sexual.
Well,
very
that's what
sexual.
I'm saying. Like, arrows in the 12th house is like, some spicy dreams. Like, arrows in the 12th house.
Sometimes I'll have
like,
sexual dreams.
Visualization. Like, I mean, I think that is so interesting to feel like how tangible it feels through the visualization or the connection to the other realms.
Yeah. I've had crazy dreams. I've had premonition dreams before in my life.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of those, but yeah, I don't know. It definitely was kind of sexual because it was like starting in my hand and then they were like moving down my body. And I was like, no, I don't know who you are. I'm not going to let you in there.
Yeah. Like, at least tell me who you are. Like, are you my past husband from another life?
Yeah, I know. I was trying to feel like, what is it? And it felt definitely masculine.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't feel feminine energy to me. But I've also, like, worked within, like, a visual of an archetype, like, for my own, like, personal sexual, like, fantasies and things. So I wasn't sure if it was, like, like, that being coming through or something like that. So yeah, I don't know. It was definitely a reset, and I was just, like, more focused on, like, wow, I could feel, like, literally it felt like someone was, like, lifting my hand.
Yeah.
Like, it was cool.
I actually love that, like, cultivating your own erotic visualization frequency.
Yeah, I have, like, a like, sexual partner, fantasy partner that, like, I work with them every time. They're, like, the hot amalgamation for myself.
I love that.
Yeah. So, I don't know. They were definitely kind of, like, cheeky, like, flirty vibes. So, because I was like, is this sexual? Like, I asked. Yeah. And then they put my hand like this and they started moving my hand like this. And I was like, oh, so it is sexual. Like, and then they were like, yeah. And then they were, like, moving down towards my chest. And I was like, oh, this is sexual.
Jupiter in the 8th, that's also very sexual. I mean, I know we're talking about that for the 5th house for me.
It's also, like, a house of sex, too. Yeah, because Scorpio rules the genitals.
But it's, like, more taboo, like, more kinky vibes in the 8th
Which is, like, I had sex with a ghost. I love it. So, yeah, definitely feeling that. I've had, like, a lot of personal
the celestial circle is so unhinged.
Okay, so I also have another TMI thing to tell y'all that relates to this.
Yes,
that now I'm, like, putting it together.
Down.
Yeah, get your tea. So I have been working on, I have, like, sexual, trauma and stuff for my life, and I've worked on that, like, a lot, but like, I talked about how my partner and I are trying to be, like, closer and be more vulnerable, and, like, intimacy. We both had sexual stuff in the past, and so we've actively worked on it because we've been together for 12 years. But the past 2 times that we had sex, I had a physical, like, release happen when I, like, finished. And I've never experienced anything, like, quite like this. Like, I finished, and when I was, like, finishing, I saw this square from, like, in my, like, in this core of my genital region, and it shot out in this, like, beam in, like, a sort of, like a pillar, like a 3D object. It shot out of me, and it was, like, this yellow color, and there was, like, dark blue around it, and I literally felt it, like, pull out of my body. And then I just was, like, crying. I was just crying, and I felt like I need to just release the residual energy, and it felt like a mix of, like, being really sad that I had to carry all of this for so long, and like grieving that. And then also a mix of just like, I was so happy because I felt like unburdened. Like it was like a freedom feeling.
Yes.
And I was just like crying for like couple minutes. And then the next time I had a similar thing. I didn't see it, but like I just felt like something pulled out of me that was like really, really, really sad. And I felt like I was crying, and I had to like yell because it was so sad. And I felt like I was processing like a lifetime of sadness, because like it rocked me. Like even after I was like done crying, I still felt like really like it was like left over. And I know like both of us have had sexual trauma, so, and I did set like a intention for the second time to heal like and get closer sexually. So I think I was processing either of our stuff or both of our stuff. But yeah, I've definitely had like those types of experiences through this transit, which has been really beautiful.
Yes. Yeah, because Jupiter moving through Cancer is like, feel the depths of your emotions, and you are safe to do so. And then especially layering on top of that the 8th house themes around sexuality. Like that's so beautiful to just have that be released from your body. And then I mean, Jupiter in Cancer, I mean, Jupiter in general can be a very overwhelming frequency, right? But just to allow yourself to go through and process.
That was pretty
whatever
wild.
Emotions come up.
Yeah, so I've definitely been like doing that. A lot of like image transformation I've been working on this year, like expanding into myself, feeling safer to expand into that, which I think is definitely 8th house, because it's like, oh, I want to do this, but like, is it allowed or whatever? Go ahead, fuck it, do it. So yeah, I've definitely had that. Yeah, I think that the psychic abilities growing has been the most like tangible of the things for me, for sure.
Especially with your son there, like you are here to be in a position of authority within the realms of the taboo, within the realms of the mystery, within the realms of the occult.
So
and you've created your life to
do that. And my North Node is in Scorpio in the 12th house, so it's like double. Double that. Just all that. Which I came out the womb like only liking supernatural and fantasy shit, so I feel like my soul was like, I know that. That's what I'm here for, is like all of those things.
That's why we're friends. Hello, Pisces rising. Here for all of that.
Like I tend to like really vibe with Scorpio people too, because my placements. So all the water sign peoples. So that's definitely been like an interesting like side effect or piece of the transit for me. So I'm excited to see, as we wrap that up in next year, what will keep coming of it, because I've really been like asking to make my abilities stronger and stronger and clearer, like all those, and I feel it. Like even my clients, like I've been up leveling in my, it's not up leveling, it's very Jupiter Cancer. I've been feeling safe enough to expand into what intuitively I've wanted to do, but I felt like, is this okay? I don't know, because like especially with energy healing, you know, a lot of it, you want to get formal training and things like that. And I've just had like, when I'm with Frankie and we're on an edible, this has happened to me even before the transit, because my South Node is in Taurus. I know I've spent lifetimes as a healer, like a physical healer. And so when I'm high, I will tap into that part. So like I'll just I'll sense what he's feeling, and I'll grab his arm and I'll move it in different directions, and he's like, oh, like that feels good. So like I have that like intuitive, like I'll do like chiropractic stuff on him just without knowing. Like I'll crack his neck or whatever. And so that's
also 6th house too, so that's also the house of medicine.
Yes, so, I know, that's why I know that I've done and so I have had that kind of happen where like I'm trying like a different type of energy healing that's like a little bit more like touch and like movement and like pressure. And so I've been like trying to incorporate that into like my own clients' work, obviously asking for permission and all those things. I'm not doing like massage, but it's sort of like I can feel like where the acupressure, I guess, point needs to be, and I need to like I feel like having the physical pressure, just it's a form of, that's why EFT really works, because we're touching the nervous system while we're processing things. So I feel like I've been really called to do more of that kind of stuff, like get more like hands-on, mix more modalities, feel safe to like gather all of the things together. And I've seen that in my last 2 energy healing sessions. Like, we were like processing like past life stuff, and my client was like, that was so visceral, I've never had that experience before. Like, I really felt it in my body, like really I could see what you were talking about from my past life and different things like that. So that's been really fun too.
Well, if you do want to study body work, it's so fun.
I do eventually want to. I want to do MFR.
Yes.
And maybe like acupuncture type stuff. But I've been told by my friend when I do readings with her, when we do trades, like she was like, maybe in your 40s you'll do that. And so I was like, interesting. Because I know it's like financially, it's like a big investment. So
to go to school and then all of your clinical hours. Yeah. This next year in 2026, I'm going to be celebrating a decade worth of doing body work. That's actually exciting. Wild. Yeah. So I highly recommend it. I love it. I mean,
I'm not sure. Like, I don't know. I know I don't want to do massage. Yeah. But I want to have some kind of training around body work so that I can employ it in what I do. I know that for sure. I just need to find like the right one that I want to do. Because in order to do MFR, you have to have a massage or like esthetician, something where you can like lay hands on people. So yeah, it is a process. Yeah.
But it's so fun. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I see it. Like, that's one of the gifts that I have as an energy healer, is like I can see where the energy is getting like stuck in your body. So it's cool. It's cool to understand and to be able to like step into that intuitively.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm excited for you to step into that. I feel like maybe that might be when Jupiter transits up into your 10th house. Maybe you.
Yeah, in Virgo. Yeah. Which wouldn't be, it would be like a couple years. Yeah, it wouldn't be too long. That could be nice. Yeah. I could see it.
We're like going way into the future now. But yeah, okay. Going back to Virgo, the eclipses this past year have been in Pisces and Virgo, which for us is, again, being mutable rising signs, have been in our angular houses. So very important houses. For me, my 1st and 7th. For you, your 4th and your 10th. So yeah, it's been intense with the eclipses this past year.
And the eclipse season this year was, it wrecked everyone. Yeah. It was rough.
Yeah, the September Pisces eclipse for me
got everyone.
Was, it happened in my 1st house, conjunct my natal. I mean, is it like super obvious I have Black Moon Lilith in my 1st house? Like, it happened conjunct that Black Moon Lilith placement, and that for me was like this complete just shifting point of like, you are here to be this wild woman, witchy goddess priestess, and don't hold back. Like, it felt like that eclipse was a complete shedding of any shame that I had, like, as a residue in my body and in my soul. That one was that September Pisces eclipse. Yeah. And it also, I think, with Saturn and the North Node moving through my 1st house, going back to the cannabis piece, and the trauma piece, I, for years of my life, would use cannabis as a way to numb and not process, especially in the dream time, because I have Saturn in my 12th house. And so I realized, like, oh, like, cannabis, if I use it, like, I don't have these, like, crazy nightmares. And so I would just use it to, like, block that. And that Pisces eclipse was like, no more using cannabis in this way. Like, since then, I haven't smoked at all. Like, I don't have any interest to. I think a lot of that is because I've been going through, with the Jupiter moving through my 5th house of the creativity, I have a lot coming up with my throat chakra, and I want to step more into the hypnosis work and the guided visualizations and using my voice more, because that's a reflection that I get back from so many people, that my voice just takes them into that deep place. But I just realized, like, the quitting of the smoking and then only using cannabis like in a ceremonial or just like a recreational way every now and again versus like the way that I was using it, that for me, I feel like was a huge shift with the eclipses. And yeah, like the other ones in Virgo, like in my 7th house, I definitely resonate with what you're sharing around the deepening of the relationship dynamic, because I definitely felt that with Josh. Especially as, you know, we're navigating the evolution of our relationship as well, exploring polyamory. I think that it's so beautiful to have that like solid, just like deep loving foundation. In September we celebrated 8 years, so I think it's so beautiful, like for both of us, that we have these long-term, just like very solid partnerships. Because for me it's so beautiful having a partner that is really just like a grounding force for me for all of the spiritual work that I do. Like he's always someone that has been a grounding force, in the sense of like, I like, for him saying this to me, like I really encourage you to be as big as you're meant to be in this life. And that's just felt so good. Like he's been like the force behind every business that I've started, because Temple Radiance is now my 3rd business. He really encouraged my first one, and I think that it's so beautiful to have that support. And definitely the eclipses there have just strengthened that. But for you, like totally different, the 4th and the 10th house.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I feel like I think it aligns with what I was talking about around like shedding things in my business that weren't serving me, the ways that I was like trying to make busy work and be perfection and all these things. Like I feel like every time I go to make a social media post, like I hear spirit being like, keep it simple, don't do the most, just deliver the information.
Yes.
Like you don't need to have the perfectionism piece of your Virgo 10th house, just put it out there, people just need to know. So I've definitely like
the refinement piece of Virgo.
Yes. And I feel like I've definitely seen a lot of like growth in my business. I feel like I've been shedding, because the South Node is there, so I feel like I've been shedding a lot around those pieces. And I feel like with the North Node in Pisces, I feel like it's just been like highlighting the Saturn Pisces pieces for myself. Yeah, and I guess like connecting to family has been a big theme in this year. I've had shifts in like my belief system tied to like my ancestry as well. But I don't know if it's like from the transit. I feel like it's just because I'm like Jewish and there's just like a bunch of
Saturn there too.
But yeah, I feel like I've been just like really trying to listen to like using my time wisely, having boundaries, releasing like old beliefs, limiting beliefs, patterns and practices that keep me like busy and keep me like very anxious and feeling like I have to work. I feel like I've been trying to like release those pieces. I mean, I definitely had like some tummy stuff that I like went through. I did like a parasite cleanse, so I feel like that's very like Virgo, South Node. Even my wrist injury is on my thumb right here, which is your Mars finger, and I have my Mars in Virgo. So, and I also hurt my foot when Saturn moved back into Pisces, and and Pisces rules the feet. So yeah.
Yeah, that same day I got like so sick. I was like, really? The day Saturn moves back into Pisces?
Yeah, I literally was like, I don't want to hurt my feet, because that's like the only injuries that I've mostly had in my life is my feet or my ankles. And I was like, I don't want to hurt my feet. And then I like fucking hurt my feet in class, and I was like, you bitch, you bitch. I was so mad. I was like, no more injuries. So yeah, I feel like it's definitely been asking me like, slow down.
Yeah.
Like don't keep go, like use your time and your energy wisely. I've been definitely in my business, I've been called to have like more boundaries around like how I'm using my time, like certain days seeing clients, certain days not seeing clients, certain days working, like we had to shift like our schedule for recording and things. Like definitely trying to develop that. I think I've also been like writing more, which I feel like is an evolution of like my business. Also tied to like Uranus and Gemini as well.
You're so meant to write, having your Mercury in Gemini.
Yeah.
And me too, Mercury first house. It's like we're writers.
Yeah.
And talkers. Professional yappers.
Yeah, I've been a yapper since I was born. My mom would be like, you're talking too fast. I can't understand you. Slow down.
My mom would call me as a nickname the mouth of the South Pacific because when I was very little, we lived in Hawaii. So
I just was called a know-it-all.
Same.
And now my job is to know it all. So what does that say about y'all? I proved you wrong, my Aries moon. I am a know-it-all. I could know it all. I can ask and know. Sue me.
Yeah, I feel like 2025 for me was really a year of getting very clear about the way that I'm spending my time. And I think a lot of that has been the North Node and Saturn moving through my first house. Mm-hmm. And just taking my time seriously, like how I am spending my time and crafting these offers in my business, and not wasting so much time in the not wanting to feel what I had repressed for so long. It was just no, get have your clarity.
Yeah. So, I think also collectively, North Node Pisces is going towards spirituality.
Yes.
During this time, it's really hard, I think. So because of we're thinking about what is the future, and I feel like Pisces says dream, dream a world that I feel like I've heard that a lot from Spirit this year. Don't focus on what isn't going right. Think about how you want to be the solution. What new societal order or structure do you want to see? How can you bring that to life? We've had a lot more focus on community and community support, communities coming together. We had the fires in California, and community had to come together when we had the SNAP benefits and stuff. We had people were coming together to do food drives and things like that. I definitely feel like we've been moving more towards a place of and how I was saying the arts and crafts movement. Pisces is the sign of the artist, the creative. So it's we're seeing a lot more people needing to tap into their creativity during these times when it's really rough. What gets humanity and groups of people through it is our creativity. Art is a way to process. Expression is the opposite of depression. It is a way to create understanding. You can see in art where an artist processes something heavy, and it can help you process something heavy.
Yes.
So I definitely feel we're moving away from the organization, the perfection, and all these pieces, and into feeling. A lot of people have been just feeling everything that's been going on, whether they're super sensitive or not. They define themselves that way. And I think it's worth noting that it's probably the Pisces North Node collectively affecting us.
No more repression.
Yeah, so it is a rough time to feel all the feelings, because there's quite a bit of fucking shit going on right now.
Yeah, Jupiter exalted in Cancer. That's the overwhelm.
Safe to feel your feelings,
But the safety piece, that's the world I want to live in. And that's why it's so heartbreaking for me to just be a witness to where we're at right now in the world, where so many people are just so disconnected from the baseline level of safety. That is not acceptable. And it's why I do my craft and my work and also what I have the intention for this podcast, the Celestial Circle, to be, where you can listen and just be in this circle space with us and feel safe to even explore a lot of these topics we're talking about, which are very they're wild, they're taboo, they're out there, they're witchy, but
I don't give a shit about any of that.
Exactly. Well, for us it's our everyday.
I've been kind of an open book. I'm just I think honesty is the best policy. There's no point in lying.
Yes.
So,
and I think what's so beautiful is when you are vulnerable and you share these things, you never know how that ripples out to create an impact, because someone listening might be oh my gosh, I went through the same thing, or I'm in the place that you were at and I want to get to where you're at. So this is a step that I can take.
Yeah.
So that's why we're here.
I did think of a Pisces North Node thing. I was hosting events in a a space, and now I just host them at my home, and I have Pisces in my 4th house. So I was like, I'm just gonna create community in my home, and I've been hosting a lot more, like even with friends. So that's
I love when you host.
I fucking love hosting. I fucking love it. Frankie's like, oh, we had to clean the house again, and I'm like, yes. He's like, that's gonna be too many people. I'm like, more people. Yeah, like I was telling Frankie, like if capitalism didn't exist, what would I want to do with my day-to-day? And I told him I would want to have a home where people in our community would come every day, and I would just cook. It would be like a restaurant, but like no money, right? But like more communal. Like I would pick whatever I wanted to cook for like lunch, and then whoever in the community could just like come and eat the food. Everybody eats the same thing that I cook.
Didn't Jaden do that recently?
Like
Will Smith's son.
Okay.
Yeah, like I think it started as a food truck, and then he created like a actual restaurant where it's like that. People just come in and eat.
Yeah.
Which is so cool. I
mean,
the resources to do that.
Yeah.
And then,
like I would just want people to just know, like, if you can come and eat whatever food that I'm cooking, talk to me about your life, get to know people, and just like, I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah. And like people could pay me, quote unquote, if we didn't have money, in food. They can just bring food, and then I can cook it, or we can trade, whatever, if we needed to. But like that was like, I would love to do that. That sounds amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I think for both of us, if there wasn't capitalism, we would still do this work. And that's because we just love it so much. We love being healers and intuitives. And
I don't know. I would be a creative.
Yeah, and creatives.
I think the
multifaceted, I think, for both of us, right? Like doing different things.
Yes, doing different things. But I read that like the final expression of the healer is the creative. Yeah. Like that's the exaltation of it.
Oh my gosh. Well, 100%. Like I use my creativity to like craft these new offers that they don't exist on the planet right now. Like Akashic past life regression, like going into your Akashic records while you're in a past life regression, like that took my creativity to create something like that. And like this new offer, I'm so excited to share. I don't even want to like give any details on it, but oh my gosh, it's gonna be so cool, y'all. Like
so I definitely feel like I would just create, because my original business idea was like crochet, and like I just love doing creative crafts.
You've done
learning creative
so
stuff.
much from there. Wow.
Yeah, right. But like if I could, I would be crocheting all day, making little crafts and things, instead of like having to do this for money. I feel like it's I don't know that I would be like a professional psychic.
Really?
Yeah.
So I would still do my work, all of my modalities. If I had like a place to stay, all of my food, like my cats are fed, I still had like the resources to travel and things when I want, I would definitely 100% still do all of my modalities.
Yeah, I'd probably just be painting.
And then I would definitely have more time to write. I think that's something that
I would write. I think I would still write. I would do like my Substack and still write.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm just someone that like, you can't tie me down to just one thing. Like,
that's why I would be doing all kinds of shit.
Yeah. That's our going where we started this podcast, our mutable asses.
Yeah. I had crochet, I did woodworking, and then like I did like products, like I've done all kinds of different things.
So interesting to me that you wouldn't want to do your psychic stuff though, because you're so good at it. You're so talented.
Yeah, maybe it's just because I'm like I feel like I have to do it now. Like to make a living. It's my living. So it's like I feel like I'd want to take a break from doing that. Yeah.
Well, I also think people don't realize how
creating is psychic.
Energetic it is to be a psychic and an intuitive. Like it is honestly more energy to do like an Akashic Records reading than it is to do a massage, for me personally.
I think it's more energy for me to do an energy healing than an Akashic Records reading. I don't know.
I would still say the latter, Akashic Records reading's more energy than doing energy.
But I have Jupiter first house.
Yeah.
Just keep expanding.
But I love all of them. Like, I'm not saying that, like, I don't want to, do one of them, but it's.
I think maybe I'd be more of a teacher. If
that's
not capitalism, I would teach
into,
other people more than I would do services.
I think that for me is something that I definitely know is a part of my evolution, having my North Node in Sagittarius and in my 10th house.
Like, I'm visualizing and I'm seeing
Yeah.
like having a temple and people would come and live and learn. I would probably do something like that. Which is like times 10 of what I'm doing now. So
yeah, exactly.
Like I would do more of that, like a lifelong practice. I would probably create like, I would still create rituals for people. I think I would do like rituals for the moon and for the holidays and for the thing. Like I would do that.
Yes.
For free. Yeah.
100%. I think long-term vision, like I also would love to cultivate like a long-term healing mentorship and support the young healers out there, because the world, we need more healers and we need more people that are multifaceted in the realms of healing. So I also see that for myself in my future, like training the young ones in the realms of healing.
The younglings.
Yes.
Yeah, so I would still be connected to it, but I feel like I would do it more in that way. Because I feel I just don't want to be tied to like having to like do bookings and things. I feel like I'd want to be like the like ethereal like mentor that kind of just is like around, like just doing like random shit. You know, it's like, kids, do you want to see?
Rising.
Yeah, I'm like, do you want to see what this bug does? You know, like yeah, I think I would definitely be more like that.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, well, that's been a wrap for 2025. Let us know how this year was for you.
Yeah. If you felt like you went through it, you transformed, you shedded, you were rebirthed, you were challenged, things were taken from you, you had to end things, you weren't sure where the fuck you were going, that's exactly the vibe.
Oh my god, we didn't even talk about like the Neptune piece. I think the cannabis piece I was talking about was also related to Neptune being in my
Aries.
first house as a Pisces rising for years of my life.
We're ending that, which I'm very...
Like, I think it's so sobering of like, and now Neptune moving into my second house.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I think the Neptune Pisces was very dreamy.
Yes.
Like, I don't want to do anything. I just want to think about it and dream about it. And now we're going to be in like Neptune Aries. So it's like, we have to take action on things.
We'll dive into more detail because I have a lot to share about that.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
It's just, I mean, I want to note that because I mean that's been most of, since I was in high school, I had Neptune and Pisces in my first house, and that's when I first started smoking weed. So it's so interesting. The like, yeah.
I didn't start smoking weed till a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So maybe it is tied to Neptune and Pisces. But yeah, like I definitely feel like I was like having, I think that main thing for me was like the delulu that I kept telling myself around my relationship with my mom. Like I felt like I was just delusional. Like it'll be like, she's gonna be the mom that I want. Like she's gonna budge. Like she's gonna open up. She's gonna want to be in my life. Like no. I think that when it moved into probably, I want to look like when if it was in Aries, because it was in Aries for a little bit, then it retrograded this year. Yeah. Maybe that was when
Aries,
Then maybe when I cut her out, it was like during that time.
I'm so excited for you for Neptune moving through your fifth house.
Yeah.
That's like when we're talking about creativity.
That's
like,
going to be a fun creative.
Like that's going to be like, whoa, amplified for you.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be tied to like tarot deck creation and things like that for sure. Yeah, that'll be really fun. Yeah.
And I'm excited for Neptune, like, moving into my second house. Like...
yeah, we're going to have a lot of... I'm actually going to have Saturn, too, in my fifth house. That'll be really productive. Yeah. Get the dream, do it. Get the dream, do it.
I've also had Chiron moving through my second house of Aries. And I feel like this year I've also done so much healing with money and finances. Like, I have, like, a... plan set to clear off my debt by 2028. Like I have a more healed relationship with money. Like I completely shifted my perception around money to now view it as this, like, when I think about my bank account, I have this visual of seeing it like this beautiful feasting table that's magical. And like if you eat the fruit, obviously more is going to grow. And if you if you don't eat it, obviously it'll go bad. So there's this generosity piece that I would love to infuse in like that connection to money and finances and deepening my connection to, that's why I hired another business coach that's all about like organization, money tracking, money management. So I feel like the Neptune and the Saturn piece moving into my second house, that's only going to deepen, especially in the realms of like my entrepreneurship journey. So yeah. I'm excited for it. Because, like, Neptune in the second house is like, yeah, make money, like, with your spiritual gifts. So.
I natally have Neptune in my second house, bitch.
That's what I'm saying. Yes.
I've heard it's your psychic gifts or acting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I natally have that shit there. It's fun.
And Uranus. The millennial conjunction, we like
that
to call
one
it.
Is
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, again, if you want to share what your experience was for any of the transits, if you have any like questions, if you're like, oh, I have so and so in my house, like, what do you think I experienced, or what was the takeaway or the lesson I should know for this transit? Please let us know. It's okay if it's for like this episode and then you're just, because you're seeing it for the first time and then you're like, oh, I want to ask a question about it. That's fine. We can have our little question corner. Again, we're looking at, the next episode will be January 2026. So if you want to ask any questions about any of the transits going on in 2026 or advice that we have based on like your chart, I will say if you want us to know, to answer questions about your chart, like please put your rising sign.
Or your birth information.
Or your birth information.
If you're comfortable sharing, that would be amazing.
If you're comfortable, yes. And let us know how much you want to share, what you don't want to share.
Yeah.
Like if you're like, don't say my name, it's okay to say my first name, whatever it is. Don't show my, whole birth chart or just talk about the placement. That's fine.
Yes.
But at least the rising sign, because if you're like, oh, I have like Mercury and Gemini, it's like, we don't know what house. So we can't really help you.
Yes. The area of life is so important when we're discussing the realms of transits, because it's like, where is it happening for you?
Or even if you're like, what does this mean for the collective? What predictions do you have from this transit? Or how can we work best with this transit? Just not even asking about your personal chart. That's totally fine too. Fire away all the questions. We're both manifesting generators, so our strategy is to respond to questions. So we love responding. So please.
Yes. And please share the personal stuff. I think that's why the Celestial Circle is going to be as like special as I'm envisioning it to be, is because I would love for you to feel like you are sitting in the circle with us, and like your information, like your questions that you're coming to the circle space with is valuable. So ask away. If you're not sure, just put it all in the email or the DM and we'll figure out what to ask for you. Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Well, that's a wrap. 2025.
See y'all in January.
We'll see you never. Goodbye, 2025.
Goodbye, wood snake. Hello, fire horse.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to the Celestial Circle podcast. We are eternally grateful to have you in our cosmic community.
Make sure you subscribe to our podcast wherever you listen.
That way you'll be updated whenever new episodes drop.
Please leave us a review and share with your friends so that our circle grows.
The circle is now closed.
Bye.